Hello and welcome to another one podcast.
We have a Patreon. It's one of the best Patreons in the game.
By best, it's more of us.
Hundreds of hours of content. There's specials on there.
Three
specials. 2 live shows. It's one of the best Patreons around. You won't regret it. Sign up. £3 a month. That's all it fucking is.
I can't promise you it's one of the best or the most valuable, but if you enjoy us,
I think it is.
It's the only way to guarantee this carries on.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So
Genuinely.
It's up to you. Would you like this podcast to carry on? If the answer to that question is yes, then why not part with 75p a week by signing up to our Patreon?
Patreon.com/another one podcast. Sign up to it. You don't even have to enjoy the content that's on there.
You don't even have to watch it.
No.
Just
sign up.
75p a week,
yeah,
so that you get your public episode every week, guaranteed. Because if it drops below a certain level, it will stop.
75p a week.
The minute this costs us money again, it's gone.
Yeah, and it's
barely even.
So, please,
for the love of God,
please now. It's beyond a joke now. There's only one podcast that needs the money, and that's ours. We're absolutely brassic, and we've got the most outgoings, like dependents.
Another one.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 145 of Another One podcast with me, Simon Wozniak. With me is co-host, cohort, brother from another mother, brother in arms, comedy comrade Rob Thomas.
It's happening, people.
And joining us today, we have the Rebel County's finest.
That's right. Well done.
The offline oracle.
That's me. Yeah.
You got anything? No. Chris Kent.
Hey.
How you doing, Chris?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
All right. Yeah. No, we've just been talking off pod. Then haven't we? You're offline.
Gone offline for a bit.
So hang on, because we're gonna have to obviously. I don't even know what number these episodes are going to be anymore. Because just a bit of admin before we crack on.
Yeah.
Phil Ellis is coming on, isn't he? I said to him, we'll put his out before Edinburgh film.
So this should be out last week of August. Probably going to be out first week of September now. So
okay.
This will be out when you get your phone back.
Is this the first week of September? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be getting my phone back on the 7th of September. So whether I take it back or not, I don't know.
Oh,
right.
We'll see.
Have you got that in you?
We'll see. Have
you got that in you?
I don't know. I think social media is the worst part about, not the worst, travelling, but being a stand-up. I love everything. But being social media and putting stuff up and
but
did you say you'd done it before?
No, I've never done it. No, I wanted to do it before, but I've never gotten around to it.
For how long have you flirted with the idea of doing it? Because I think everybody dabbled in the idea of going, oh, I wouldn't need it if we didn't need it for work, or I wouldn't need it.
I've always said Facebook would be
I've always said that. I'll tell you right, about 2012, I did my first Fringe, and I remember getting a really shitty review, and I read it, and we were very naive coming over from Ireland to do these festivals because I genuinely didn't know what these things would be reviewed. I didn't know what awards were, nothing like that. So then I got over and you get into it and all reviews come out and then I got a kind of not a nice one and I took it personally and I was like, I'm not doing the internet. I'm not doing the internet anymore.
How new were you when that happened?
I was going about 5 years at that point, to be fair.
Right.
But still I took it. I was like, what the fuck is this? You know?
and you can throw hands as well, little known
I
fact.
can a little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Just a bit.
I'm definitely not dangerous.
Well, I've had to say you can actually box a bit.
I can box a little bit, yeah. I wasn't great, but I did do it for a while, which is more than someone that didn't do it, you know.
How long did you do it for?
I did it from when I was about 15 to 20, maybe, something like that.
Did you do any fights?
Yeah, I had about 19 fights or something, but I lost most of them. You know what I mean?
You lost most of the 19?
Most of them, yeah.
Started, it was 15.
Yeah.
Fighting kids that start when they're 4, you know.
15 is very late, actually, to start boxing.
Yeah, but to go in 5 years to have 19 fights and have a lot of losses, after like 10
but that's
you
an
might
age
go.
thing though, isn't it?
But after 10 you'd go.
Yeah, but if you start boxing at 15, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
Well, you wanted to fight, not just train.
I did, yeah.
You wanted to actually make a career of it?
No, just as a sport, amateur. I didn't want to make a career of it. I enjoyed it. And like for context, like I remember the second guy I fought, so the second fight I had, he was like a triple All-Ireland champion. So he had something like 130 fights, and this was my second fight. So just to give you when I was 15. When I was 15.
They let you in against
someone. Of course they do, yeah. That's who you're against. You're against.
And what happened?
I got beat, obviously.
Did you take him the distance? What was
No,
it?
I didn't take him the distance. I didn't take him the
What do you think
distance.
this
I
is?
didn't take him the distance of the first round.
Yeah,
No,
so
I was okay. I got beat. Obviously, I got stopped, you know.
Right, so how many rounds was it scheduled for? 15?
3. Do you know anything about boxing?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He just likes violence. He's got a nice, easy life.
It's
So he likes the idea of violence.
Three rounds.
Threes.
Yeah.
Right.
Three twos. I think 3 1.5s even for your amateur first.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
yeah,
only
I thought
twos,
so,
yeah.
3 2s.
Yeah,
Probably something
something
like
like
that.
Yeah.
Right, so you did 3 2s, and it was in the first.
I was in the first, yeah.
Come on.
And
I
that was
just
your,
got stopped.
that was your first fight.
Second fight.
Second.
I did win a few, and I did like box for Cork and box for Munster. It's just you're going up against lots of guys that are just, you
Varying
don't.
levels.
To be
yeah.
fair, you don't have a chance against, like, you know.
Well, I've known some of the these events that they put in like guild halls where
Yeah.
it's grown men against kids. Sometimes it's
Right.
anyone who gets in anything. Like you know
Yeah.
these white collar events or
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I've done some white collar ones.
See them,
And,
they're
Have you?
full of-
Yeah.
Not fought them. I mean MC'd them.
Yes.
And you get some fellas who were handy back in the day.
Yeah.
See,
I've
that's a
retired,
bit of a
come back and
that's a
beat
bit of a
people up,
disadvantage,
yeah.
isn't it? Or a bit of too much of an advantage. Like there's been
Yeah.
charity boxing and there's been comedians boxing and all that, and I think to go in against someone that never did it, and
Yeah.
Well, Milo did that with Dave Haddingham, didn't he?
But hadn't Dave boxed a bit though? No.
I don't know. I think he just is a big geezer, and he
Right.
was on
Right.
the pie and chips beforehand, wasn't
Right.
he, the night before? And I think he was just like, but Milo trained like a fucking,
Milo would have trained like
an
beast.
athlete
yeah,
for it.
yeah.
So you've never done a comics boxing thing?
Never done a comics boxing thing.
See,
no.
I don't think many people know that you're a boxer on the circuit.
Yeah,
would
probably
they?
not. No.
No, it's only
You know?
you that get hung up
Yeah.
on something like that.
It was Andrew Ryan who fucking.
Oh, Andrew
was it?
Ryan told him. Yeah.
I don't know how we got on speaking about it, but he was like, Chris Kent can box. I was like,
You
fuck
can
off.
do a little bit. But I still love the sport, you know. It's a great sport
You're not,
to
UFC,
do.
you're not an MMA man.
Not really, no.
No?
No, as I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do watch it, but I'm not like, I don't know a whole pile about it.
What is it about boxing you prefer to?
I don't know, I
MMA?
just prefer doing boxing. I just never did MMA. I did
How
Thai
old
I
are
did
you-
Thai
how old are you,
boxing for a
Chris?
while as well. I'm 40 now, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to think 25 years ago,
Yeah.
no one was doing MMA, were they?
No,
I
MMA
know,
was
but
not
like,
a thing.
You know, in terms of like who's the hardest?
Yeah.
Like surely you'll like boxing. They're not the hardest, are they?
Probably, no.
But you prefer watching that.
Yeah. It's not the hardest in what way, like what do you do?
Well,
What
I want
sports
to
do
watch
you
it
do?
because I go
Doesn't
like
do anything.
He doesn't do anything.
No,
yeah.
He lives in a very nice middle class suburb,
yeah, okay.
and the idea of violence excites him.
Yeah.
It terrifies
He
me.
wants
Yeah.
to feel something. I
It
think.
terrifies me the
Yeah.
idea of like getting in the ring. which
Have
is
you ever
why
been
I'm
hit or anything? Have you ever been in a
obsessed-
fight?
No,
You've never had any of that.
No, which is
Okay.
why I'm obsessed. It's like
Right.
watching these people go like, I don't know how they go in there
Yeah.
against someone and fight.
It is definitely not as dangerous as MMA, but it's still hard.
Can't
Still
believe
hard.
that,
Getting
20 fights.
your like nose smashed or anything like that. Or
Did you what do you ever
You get
have
hit
one,
by- yeah.
one specific moment that you may fuck this ever again?
no, not really. No.
You just
Just got a bit older. I was 19, 20. I started going out, started meeting girls, and then that like lost a little bit of interest. And weirdly,
Yeah.
I was getting good and starting to get a couple of wins, but got sent away for work as well. So I was up and down the country. I trained as an electrician, so I was away from the gym, and I
Yeah.
was like, then it started because I trained very hard when I did do it. But then when I was away for a month or two, missing out and then coming back, that was the only edge I had over guys. That was like I was out training them probably.
Right.
You know, and then when that started to ebb away, when I was sent up the country for 3 months, I just said, nah, it's not. Not for
See,
me.
I could ask more questions about this because
I
I'm
know.
fascinated by it.
Not
but
for
I'm
me
not-
anymore.
I don't know if I want
How did you even start talking about this? I don't even. I
Oh,
thought
you
you
got a bad review.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
you could knock the cunt out.
He's been waiting basically,
I
probably.
think it was a girl, actually.
Oh,
I
was
think it
it?
was a girl.
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you
I-
like with stuff like that now then? Because
I'm fine now, absolutely
so
fine.
did you read comments or did you ignore
No,
them
I
or
don't
what?
read. I read comments, but I don't read reviews. Never read my own reviews. Never read other reviews. Just don't.
Do
Right.
you read other people's?
No, I don't. Never. I don't ask reviewers to come into my show in Edinburgh because I'm not
Yeah.
there to be
Nah.
reviewed. I'm there to write a show, to go on tour, like, you know.
So what do you like with comments then on the?
Comments, if I can think of a witty reply straight away, I'll do it.
Yeah.
If it's really nasty and they're just being completely arseholes. And if actually, it depends on the comment. If it's a good comment,
Yeah.
I'll kind of
Right.
leave it there or try and play with it. If it's a hack comment, do you know that's hack comment? You think you're the
When's the
first.
funny start or something like
You
that,
think
yeah.
you're the first person to say
Yeah.
that.
Not
I'll
everyone
do,
should get a
do
microphone.
you know that kind of
Yeah.
shit? Like, I just delete it straight away or block them and don't think about it.
Yeah.
If I can think of a good reply though, and a zinger, and you go bang, and then that will get, if that gets, because that can get sometimes hundreds and hundreds of likes.
Yeah.
I'll do that. But if it's playing around in my head for more than a couple of minutes, I just block them. Good luck.
Right, fair enough.
What do you think?
I enjoy them, me.
Yeah, do you?
Well, I've convinced myself anyone who comments on stuff is just a fucking loser now.
They are, to be fair.
So every time I see a comment, I just picture someone sat at the house just miserable as fuck.
Absolutely.
Either hates the wife or hasn't got one.
Yeah.
Hates the fucking life and just think, you sad twat.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoy it then, because then you'll see them come on and I think, oh, you fucking loser. And I quite enjoy that then.
Yeah. I've never had. I don't put enough out to ever get
Don't
it.
you?
And even the nice comments, I haven't read them yet. I might read them after like 8 months.
Yeah.
I'll go back on the video and might look at them, but
Would you?
and I might like them if.
Right.
Generally, I haven't had any nasty on mine yet.
Well, like I say, you don't put enough out. You haven't really gone, but you haven't had anything go.
And also, anything I put a clip out ages ago before it was about mental health, before anything was big. I reckon if I put that out now, that could get me some heat.
Put it out again.
I might
put
do,
it out again.
But like I did it. I remember the first time I did it, shared it. Never thought anything of it because the time I did it, mental health wasn't really that.
Yeah, it's become
mainstream. But like now, it's like if I put out now, it would. I think it would get a bit more.
You
get a bit of traction.
On our podcast.
Yeah, you get some stuff on our clips. Like.
Yeah, but I don't know the login. I don't. I can't.
I'll start sending them to you.
I can't bear. No, I don't want to know. I mean, it'll just be something horrible.
Like, just horrible.
Yeah,
like what cunt stuff like that.
Well,
smarmy prick.
But I think that's fair.
I think the most recent ones are you got the Sunday League opinion. You got fucking loads of abuse for that.
Did I? Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably shite. What a fucking loser. That's why
it does make you want to get him.
Yeah.
See, I'm better off not knowing. This is why I won't read it.
The latest one is from a few months ago. Remember we were saying about...
Nice to know that he's reading them.
Especially when they're about
he likes them.
Yeah, I loved them.
He's baiting them. He's going, say that.
Yeah. The latest one was about the cocaine, but you can't be 60 by doing cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
You got a lot of gammons were happy with you with that.
Right.
That fucking... Do you think you just stop trying to have fun when you're older?
When you say gammons, it's probably all the people that know you from the Salty. That's probably...
No,
it's not anyone knows
TikTok.
Yeah.
It was just because I think that was the last big one then. So everyone just fucking...
Oh, I don't
piled on you for... saying he just said anyone over, you can't be 50 and be doing cocaine in the toilets or something. And that was it then.
I didn't realise it happened. Like I thought, like, oh god, like men never grow up, sort of thing. Like you think it's going to be 18 to 24, but then you realise fellas still stare at you too long. You think, I'm gonna have to, we said this on the other podcast the other day. Like when people stare at you like 50 too long, you're thinking, I'm gonna have to look away now, not because I'm that intimidated by it, but you're looking at me in a way that you want an issue, and I'm just coming home from the shop.
It's probably just always in people, man. It's always in
Never
certain men.
You know, then you think they're going to eventually going to level out.
That's the kind of person who comments on stuff. The kind of person who stares at you down.
They're triggers.
But they're not bad. It's the ones that, like, I'm terrified of the ones who make a valid point. They're like,
they hate.
That's very distressing.
They hate.
Have you ever had that? Someone make a valid point and go, this is problematic. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, no, I've had people take bits the wrong way and stuff.
Well,
yeah.
If somebody good looking does it, male or female, but one of them you go, I'd like to be mates with them.
Yours have probably gone past that. Yours probably too much now. That used to be my favourite thing when you had a video do well enough. You have a little look who likes that, and then if they fit, you like that kind of stuff, do you? But yours, I imagine, too much of it now.
Too much of which eyes there?
Too many likes and that to keep on top of. So you don't even see if anyone's fit anymore.
You get a bit obsessed with it, and it was the whole point. One of the things I wanted to go offline for, because it just gets into you, and you go, "Oh, that's doing well," and then you keep checking it, and you're like, "I'm checking it." 2 minutes later, the video's longer than 2 minutes. They can't have even physically had many more views, and I'm checking the thing, and then the problem with me was I'd check it, and then obviously something else would come up. But next thing, there's 2 hours gone. 2 hours just disappears. Yeah, and I'm balls deep in this algorithm, like, you know what I mean?
Your own stuff.
No, just I'll go on to check my own, and then all of a sudden it'll just show you something else.
Are you TikTok as well, or?
I'm TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Which is your vice, though? Which is the one that meant that?
Probably TikTok initially, I'd say.
Is it
the first one where I started going?
And I won't go on it because I'm so bad on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think I know if TikTok gets me, I'm gone.
Yes.
So I've avoided TikTok like the plague.
I think as a creator, putting anything up, you need to just drop and go. If you can do that, if you can put the clip up, because I had a system for a while where I had another phone next to my laptop, an old phone.
Yeah.
All the socials are off this phone, so I edit the videos at home, put them on that, upload everything, go out for the day. and then you come back at the end of the day, of course, and get stuck into it. But you don't have your phone out
See
for the
that?
day.
To me, it is all gambling. It's like when you back in the day.
Yeah,
when I would have played the roulette many years ago.
Yeah, it is, but that's what it's
But
based
you press
on.
the button and you go, I'm not even looking.
Yeah.
And there's videos of people in lab books
Yeah.
who bet it and they just walk to the other end of the shop
Yeah.
and come back because they just don't even want to see the screen. They just go bet and I'm gone. I don't even want to know or watch that because they know where it's going anyway.
Well, that's when I stopped. I stopped when my mates knew.
Yeah.
Where the ball was going from the minute it dropped. I was like, well, I'm not doing this anymore.
Can't do
And I think
that.
the same with clips is
the ball dropped and I went, it's going to land on this number. And they were within the side of the number. And I was like, what are you even playing it for?
Yeah.
Like, you're not even getting the fun of the ball spin. It's not like roulette where you're getting the fun of the ball spinning, the randomness. It's ruined the minute the ball shows up on the screen for you.
But that whole checking it thing is that you just want to drop it and you could come back and that your life's changed.
Yeah,
that's what it's like on Instagram. It's like there's a clip. You go, oh, my life's gone nowhere.
That's why. That's why if something goes well overnight, you have not, and you pick it up and you're like, oh shit, that's blowing up or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I've started getting it from other comedians now.
Have you?
I don't put content out.
He knows everyone's numbers.
So when I see someone do a clip and I go like, oh.
Yeah.
I Carl Porter was my main one.
Right.
I said to I remember texting him.
He's gotten big clips.
He had one clip and I texted him when it was on like it just gone to a few thousand. I went, he's gone in with this clip, and then he was like, nah, 60,000 views. I'll get a text
every now and again going, he's off the circuit now. Him.
Yeah.
I'm
like, is he touring now? Yeah.
Oh, it was like crack for me. I was like, fucking, you seen this? He's on 200k now. It's too up. And then
Bill Burr shared it, and that was it. Gone.
Yeah. Scott Bennett's camping one. I enjoyed that one.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, Scott's class.
That one going.
Yeah.
What was your one? Did you have one in particular?
I had a few on Instagram, I think. I was slow enough, actually, because I went back to work because of the pandemic probably for 2 years, and I wasn't doing much at all. I went back for 2 years as a Sparks.
What was you on as well? Sorry.
What was you on when you went back to work?
What do you mean? What was on?
Like follow account?
I was on probably 6,000 on Instagram.
Right, so it was small then.
Yeah, very small. But also, I had a small following, but I was doing a decent-ish tour in Ireland up to that point. Before that hit, I was playing Vicar Street my first time. I did the Everyman in Cork, which is like second biggest. It's like 650. Yeah. So I'd sold that out, and then some.
What was it like about getting recognised then?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. There was only one or two fellas. I wouldn't have had much.
No, but I mean like on a week-to-week basis.
Oh yeah, that's a strange thing to kind of get used to. It happens a lot where I am. My wife gets an awful kick out of it.
So when you went back to work, how often? So like when you went back to work, you're on the following I'm on now.
Yeah,
I get recognised maybe once, twice a week.
Yes,
that like so the once, twice a week.
Yeah.
So
well, when I went back to work, I only had the small following. Yeah, but I still got recognised.
That's what I mean. She must have been
doing it for so long, you know.
Yeah.
And they're just not sure. I remember one guy came up to me in the canteen. He was like, "Are you anything to Chris Kent by any chance?" And I was like, "Well, I'm I suppose depends on the day." Like,
we remember we got recognised in here.
Yeah.
Coming down the stairs, a DPD driver went. Looked at us twice. DX was it? You recording that pod? And we were like, he's like, I'll listen to it. Nice. And then like he messages and he comments on the video going, I'm the driver. And I was going back. I commented back going, sorry for the lack of glamour, mate. Yeah. And he went, I did think it was a bit shit.
Did he say that?
That's what he said to YouTube. And I was like, fucking hell. Because then, like you said, I've stopped work. So I've got a taxi as well.
Yeah.
So I've got a contract with the council. I still do that. That's fine. The people who do it with know what to do. They're all fine with it. But I stopped working because I got recognised too much.
Every time you got into the car, that's
awkward. It wasn't every time. It was just like, you'd work, because it used to be sound to do a gig. And then you'd be like, I'm not going to bed till 2. I might just go out in the cab.
It's a perfect opportunity.
But then you get people bladdered. Yeah. Oh, and you that laugh from it. And you're just like, oh, like. So in the end, it's like, I can't do that. Like 3 times a night sort of thing. Because the people who recognise you're also the ones that are going to be out at the weekends.
And they're out, of course, they're so out and about.
So it was just too hard. So like, not too hard, but it was more just trying to explain to people, well, I'll do all right, but I still need money, sort of thing. Like trying to explain it. Like, was it a weird thing of going back to work for you?
Weird thing going back to. I had to go back to work because, like, obviously the gigs disappeared. You know.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of a big tour in Ireland, and then that happened. So then I moved back to Ireland 6 months later from St. Albans, and basically I was living in my childhood bedroom with my wife and kids, and I was like, I had no gigs, I had no work, I hadn't done.
What age are you?
Back then,
Pandemic,
I suppose it was 4 years ago.
35,
36, 37, and then I was just like, what am I doing here? So then I just tried to get back out, and I went back working as a Sparks for 2 years. Luckily, my old company took me back, and was a huge relief.
Trade, that
Belt of trade, yeah. But when you haven't done it for 12 years, I'd been off.
12 years off the tools.
So it's a big time. It's a big gap. And you're like,
Shaniaski's one of you now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I heard that.
How did you find going back to the States?
Terrifying. Yeah, going back on the tools, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrifying. Genuinely. For the first couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden it was like, because you think you need to go, you go, oh, I need to know how to do every single thing. It's a vast trade, you know.
Yeah. My dad's a spark.
But actually,
I'd be a spark if I'd got a proper job.
Would you?
Yeah.
It's a good job. Yeah, I ended up learning more in that 2 years than I did my whole apprenticeship beforehand.
Yeah.
And it was actually hard to leave in the end. But I just went. Yeah.
So what age did you start stand up?
21.
And you're a spark. You've been a spark.
And a Sparks, yeah.
To what time? When did you go full time to stand up?
Full time to stand up originally in 2009 because there was a recession and I lost my job as a Sparks, and then I just happened to be making a little bit of money off stand up, so I threw everything into that. I couldn't find any other work, and then I was going full time in stand up until 2020, I suppose.
And did you move over to the UK when, or have you never moved over?
I did, 2015, I think.
Yeah.
2015, I think I lived there for nearly 6 years.
And then you just did the circuit.
Did the circuit and was doing a little tour back in Ireland, and did the circuit and was doing a little tour back in Ireland and a couple of supports and a couple of festivals, and then that was it really. It was a slog actually.
So you had to go back to being an electrician. You said you were terrified of going back to do it.
Of course, yeah. Just in case you're asked to do something you
Right.
didn't know how to do.
Did you think you had it in you to take instruction anymore after so long?
That's not the problem really. It's like, I don't know if you do. What do you ever do, a trade or anything like that?
I've never done a trade.
No.
Just
So it's like,
not Chris,
I suppose what you're terrified of is something like, just say you're a couple of months into the job, the boss comes and hands you a drawing, head down there to that building, start doing this, and this, and and then you walk off. Because we never really go, I can't do that. You just walk away with the drawing and go, I can't do that.
I'll figure it out,
I just blag it. But it was easy. It was like, it ended up being really, really nice and really...
How do you blag?
Did you have a...
You don't really blag that, to be fair.
Because
well, you know enough to know.
Yeah, and you'd ask someone else.
Have you someone to explain, and
they go, have you done this before or whatever? But it's a vast trade. There's a lot of mechanical stuff in it, and there's a lot of containment and there's a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, that's what I used to do. I was on the railways for a bit.
Well, yeah.
As an electrical improver, it was called. It's basically like
so you doing
one step up from a labourer. But
metal munching, was it? No, was it cutting containment and all that? Yeah, the containment. That's hard work.
Putting armoured cables in.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
It was all that
but
stuff.
It was like, genuinely, after a couple of weeks, it was the best thing ever. Then I was like, this is unbelievable. Money in my bank account every Friday. Someone tells me what to do. I'm not chasing invoices. I'm not chasing payment. I'm not driving all over the country.
There's no
for
sort
gigs.
of
anxiety.
There's no anxiety about your income. There was no the diary. There's
Safe,
a gap.
Comfortable.
There's 3 weeks here where I've no work. And what am I going to do? And
what was it like on the site though? Of no areas to comedian anything like that, or
the comedian, to be fair, the lads were very nice that I worked with. The lads were all they were so nice, and they were just, after a couple of weeks, they knew the crack as well. They knew that I had a big gap in my CV and all that. But after a while, then you just get more responsibilities, and then you get more comfortable, and you're like, actually,
that's what I wouldn't be shitting myself over the work. It'd be the
social aspect of it.
The social aspect of it.
No, they weren't. But there was a little bit early days, one or two of the little apprentices that were like, "Oh, you're a comedian, yeah? You're supposed to be a comedian, yeah? Tell us a joke." When there's a toolbox talk or something like that, tell us a joke. I don't think you're funny, and that's that kind of shit,
So the canteens, go on, go do a bit now.
Exactly, a little bit of that, and you get over it.
Did it ever cross your mind once you'd been there for a bit to give up stand up?
Tiny, yeah.
Or to sort of ease back, maybe.
I would say it was going one way or the other because.
Why? Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Don't finish off your sentence.
Because when I went back to work, that was the first proper job I had in ages. So then I got a mortgage because I had a proper job. We started looking for a house. I never had that opportunity before. But then there was a big housing crisis in Ireland, so that didn't really work out either. So that's all I got was 20 minutes about trying to buy a house trying to buy a house. But for a while it was getting a bit too comfortable, and the hours were getting bigger, and I was picking and choosing my gigs. So I was like, gigs have started to come back, Chris. You can do this gig over here, you can do that gig. And I was like, I'll do that one. I like that one. I don't like that one. So then I think my wife could actually see that a little bit.
That freedom's quite nice, though.
It's lovely. It's
one
lovely.
of the reasons I've never given the cab up.
And creatively, it's good for you to not to be leaning on it fully for financially when you're leaning on it fully. I found that very, stressful, you know.
Yeah.
But then the gigs started flying in, and the hours started going up, and my wife was like, "You need to."
One
And she said, "Give up on the house. I'm sick of looking for a house. Let's just give up on the house. You go back to work as a comedian full time and give up the job." To be fair, like, and it took a bit of pushing. Like, it's what my whole last show was about. It took 7 or 8 months of her going, "Seriously, Chris, we'll be fine. Just give up on the house."
Were you putting clips out while you were sparking?
Not really.
Right.
But I tried it before. But then the whole thing was, when I eventually plucked up the courage to say, "I'm going to give stand-up a go again,"
right?
My wife was like, "Yeah, you're giving it a go, but put loads of do everything. Put yourself out there." So I was always very good for writing and turning off a show every year, but I wasn't massively good at pushing myself and doing the socials and all that.
Yeah, that's like most people's our age.
Exactly. So when I gave up the job, I just went, okay, I'll put a clip up every day for as long as I can. I think I did it for about 2 months.
Did you have kids?
I have kids as well, yeah. So I used to drop the kids to school, and then that was it. I went to the library, and I was just learning how to cut and edit, and I cut and edit and put it up, and I didn't really see much, actually, to be honest, for about 5 or 6. I didn't see a whole pile, and then it just started, especially Instagram. I don't know if you noticed that.
It feels like you need one good one.
One good one's all it takes. But
even
a few going outside your algorithm, so say you had 6,000 followers, a few that are getting 15, 16, you're like, okay, I'm reaching.
Yeah.
I'm you know what I mean? Like, I'm going outside my actual organic reach or whatever. So, and then it just started going, and I think TikTok took off, and then and then Instagram sort of took off. I say it took off, like, they're healthy, and I did a nice big tour off the back of them.
Yeah.
You know? And then that was it. I was writing the show and putting the clips up, and I was writing the new show, and then the next tour just went crazy. Like, went from 20 dates the previous year to like 115 or
that's great.
115 dates.
Yeah. I'm still not done with that one. I have to do it in the UK, but that's kind of where it went.
What you got left in the UK?
I have September, October. I'm doing another show in London, Edinburgh. A few places I didn't do, like Cambridge, and there's only about 14. But I'm starting the next tour in Ireland then in October. So I'm like, you know.
Smith had that, didn't he? Smith had one rearranged date.
Yeah.
We did the old tour, then a week later started this new tour.
It's weird. That's about what I have. Literally, there's a week, and I start the next tour in Ireland then.
Yeah.
But I finished the Irish dates though last week, so I finished the Irish dates there in July. So, you know.
Are you just done in Ireland now? Are you settled in Ireland now?
Love it there, genuinely. And I never thought I'd move back to Cork, actually, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
I haven't lived in Cork for over 10 years. I lived in Dublin, then I lived in London, and I thought, this is where you need to be. This is where the clubs are. This is where I can do most of my work. But then Cork, I just love it. My family are back there now. We have a little bit of help with the kids if we need it and all that.
Yeah, you need it.
And then I just started touring, and then it's like happy days.
So you can just tour now, can't you?
I can tour, yeah.
But you don't really have to do the circuit gigs anymore, do you? Like,
no, I don't have to. I don't have to, but I want to.
That's
I'm over here now doing hot water for the weekend,
So you're doing the circuit gigs just to keep your eye in,
keep it sharp and all that.
Yeah.
I don't think you shouldn't be playing to people that are coming to see you all the time.
That's the thing.
I don't think it's right. I think
that's the difference between Americans. That's why Americans have been.
Yeah.
Well, I explained to someone today. Someone was asking me about it today. The difference in American. I think their superstars.
Yeah.
Are well better than ours. Like the pinnacle, but they've got so much shot. Their average is nowhere near our level.
Right, yeah. I've done a bit over there in clubs and stuff, and it's
their average is shite, but their echelons like the Bears and stuff like that are so sort of, I think, such a step ahead of everyone else. But when you really get into stand-up in the industry, you realise that's because they never stop gigging with people who are hungry in clubs and that.
Yeah.
Rose said it. We did so I'm in Hot Water tonight, the 600T. We did charity night for one of our mates. And we were talking to Rowan that about it, and Smith and like Milo, Troy Orchard, and they were saying like you can see the sort of. Rose said, I want to do a club tour next. My next tour is going to be a club tour.
Yeah.
Because I'm not as good as a club comic as I used to be.
Yeah.
Like I used to be top, I reckon, but now I'm nowhere. I'm not that level.
It does. It's a gear change as well, though. At the same time, so you go from doing your tour show, which is an hour 15, hour 20, back into like. First of all, how do I cut this up for the club?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You have to lift bits out, and you
That's
might need to kind of
lift like 50 minutes out, and I need to extend that.
Hour 15s.
I do about that. My show is a little
Keep
bit
that
long.
extra 15
I know.
back.
I'm not next year. Yeah, I will.
Oh,
yeah.
Chris. Any of these people that do these hour 20s,
but no, it's a bit. That's including a bit of crowd work, which I never used to do. But then I started. When I moved back to Cork, I opened 2 little comedy clubs. So then I hosted them, and I started doing crowd work at them. And I kind of enjoy it. I like talking.
Yeah, because one of the good things about you have so much clips that aren't crowd work sort of thing.
I've loads of
I've been filming for years.
Oh, I've been filming for years. So that first time I started putting out clips was like literally, I was finding hard drives and I was looking through them and I was like, oh, there's a show here. I have not even touched it, and I just started clipping bits off it. And it's tedious, but you're kind of looking through it, going, okay.
How can you? What made you film for so?
I don't know. First of all, I was going to Edinburgh every year, and then I wasn't doing anything with it. I was chopping it up and having a new 20 for the clubs.
Yeah.
And then I started touring, so I'm like, oh, I'm getting something out of that now.
Yeah.
I'm getting something out of that. And then I was like, oh, the tour's not enough. You need to have something else. You need to have something to show for it. Like, so I always just paid for my own specials and got people to come in and record me.
You were doing that before, like a lot of people.
I did it for a long time. There's even 1 or 2 that I haven't released that I just wasn't happy with.
Yeah.
That I got people to come in and they were just, you learn from your mistakes and you go, okay, I wasn't great in it, or I did it in the wrong room or something. It didn't work there.
Yeah, Matt Reed filmed one, and the people who filmed it for him forgot to mic the audience.
Yeah, I had that. I've had that. Yeah. I've had that.
Sounds like he's
and
dying.
It's just,
like
and
he said it was one of the best gigs of his life. But
you could probably fix it. You could probably get it fixed or something.
I said to him, I can try and fix it for you or something. Yeah. But I think
it's frustrating though.
I think it's one of them where you need a bit of space from it.
I mean, it might have been shy, mightn't it? He might have just said the audio stuff, but it might have been that bad.
Yeah.
Every bit he did that, and you just thought, you know what, just to blame the audio for this one. You never know what quite went down at the live record, do you? See a live crowd work clip, you're thinking, yeah, but the rest of the set was shite.
Yeah.
The crowd work is easy, and you give it, it's gone. That's the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Your clips, you want to get the right little clip. And then sometimes it's like your tour show, the clip will be better when you leave the tour.
Yeah.
And you go out and bring it into the clubs. And then that's why you're better off putting a bit up from a club or whatever. And it's good to have the mix. Like,
how would you find the scene in where you are now?
There's not a massive scene there.
Yeah.
But there's a nice little scene. Like I say, you need to be getting out. I went out last night. I since I gave up my phone, I'm trying to write a new show.
Yeah.
So I went into town last night, a little comedy club in town. But there wasn't many people at it, and there was one. When there's not many people at a gig, all it takes is one person to really fuck the gig. One dickhead to fuck. And there was one girl there. She was an absolute idiot. Like, she went out and came back with a couple of ice creams, and she was passing.
How many people are we talking at this gig?
Oh, it was about 20 or 30, like, yeah. And she gave me the ice cream then. She gave me and the whole thing was her, like, trying to get, I was like, I'm not eating this ice cream, like, you know. So it's just like, I don't know, that might be clippable. Yeah, it was like, it is a professional gig at the weekends, but on Wednesday nights they do kind of, you can come in and do new material and all that. And I was like, just me having a standoff. I was like, I'm not eating this ice cream. And she was like, eat it. And I was like, I'm not eating it, no.
Oh my God.
So this kind of thing.
Have you clipped it?
I don't know. I haven't clipped it yet. I haven't even looked back at it yet. But like that's the kind of thing you need, that outside my comfort zone, because I find those difficult gigs sometimes you can do a preview, and you'll get 50 minutes and it'll be like great crack. But then what you really need is a tough preview where nothing's landing. Yeah. And I find something happens with those previews where maybe you step onto the back foot or something, and a line just comes out of nowhere.
Literally just had that.
You just grasp it. I don't know what happens, but next thing you have a tag, and next thing, the next good preview has another big laugh in it.
Like, I've literally just had that with a new bit. Like, I was done it at 3 new material nights, and it's going well. But when you come off and you're like, this is going well just because of where I am and who else I'm on with. So like, with newer acts and stuff like that. It's like, you know yourself. Oh, that's got a laugh, but it's not weekend ready. And you're in the back of your head, and then I was at a gig that got me back drinking again.
Did you go off drink for a while? Yeah,
I was just trying to lose a bit of weight, so I just stayed off the ale. And then I think I texted him. I put it on Instagram. Well, you tell you how tonight's gig went. I'm back on the ale. Yeah, I was like, I had to have a few whiskeys, get myself over it. But I was doing that, and then I thought, I've got nothing to lose here. I'm just going to try these bits that I've done a couple of times.
To do them,
and then did them, and then because you're floundering. The next thing you had a line sort of thing.
There's something happens.
And you think to yourself, why didn't I have that line from the start? Like, there was this line, I think that line is literally the exact line that was there. The whole like, why didn't I think of that?
But you didn't write it, or you didn't. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it's in the subconscious.
Just because some half fella wouldn't look at me, sort of thing,
and you're just dying on your hole, and you just grab it like you're falling down.
Vaping, and he because what had happened, I wanted to joke about my uncle vaping, and this half fella, he literally sat between I was emceeing and he'd sat for the act before the first act and rolled himself a cigarette.
Lovely.
And then fucked off halfway through to go and smoke
disrespectful,
it. Just so like the fact that he'd rolled it, I thought like it's not even that you've fucked off for a ciggy. It's the fact that you've gone, I'm going to ignore him while I roll me ciggy. And then I had a little bit of a crack with him over that, and then I was like, then the line come, and I was like, fucking, because I think I said to him, at least he's still fucking smoking, my uncle's vaping. And then the line come, and I was like, that's why isn't that? And then, and then I worked on it the last week, and I think I've got a new bit now.
Gets a laugh in a tough room.
Yeah, and you're like, that's it.
Happy days.
How are you for dying? Are you good at it?
What you mean, good at it?
Like, can you die well, or you just
yeah, I can do.
I'll just die, and it's just a bit bleak. For
everyone. I can do.
You were 20 minutes to the giraffes at Chester Zoo. That's what I like to say. Can you do your 20 minutes to the giraffes at Chester Zoo?
I if it's not going well, I'll often comment on it and start analysing the gig and why it's not going well. I almost start heckling myself.
You die like me then.
Well, one of my favourite Irish comics is Dave Savage.
Oh yeah,
and
I love
think
Dave.
He's brilliant at just fucking it up.
Yes,
and then just
bringing it back again.
Yeah, just make it absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
Do you gig much with him ever?
I do gig with him a bit. Yeah. A couple of times.
He's brilliant.
But do you have to leave Cork a lot to go to gig then?
I do have to leave Cork a good bit, to be fair. But
so are you having to go to Dublin and Belfast?
Dublin, Belfast, Limerick, Galway for the tour. Ireland is small enough to us. You can get home most of the time.
Building the tour up, sort of thing.
Building the tour up, yeah, I do. Like I was in Dublin a couple of weeks ago doing the clubs.
Yeah,
I normally
because we're a bit blessed where we are. We can just
Yeah, I do. There is like, and I do when I'm emceeing the two clubs, I'll try and build a bit in there. Yeah. But I don't want to be popping up in the same places in Cork the whole time.
You say blessed that we got the best comedy club that we can just go and drop in and do new.
Well, it's not even.
I quite like doing new at a gig in a cafe that no one's at and no one's knowing about.
Yeah.
No, and then I can go. I can just have a stinking 10 minutes here, and then no one will ever know about this. But I've spoken it now. I
saying it out loud is the hardest part.
I mean, bless us in. We've got them gigs, and we've got the clubs, and we've got Manchester there, Chester there.
Okay.
How many
clubs?
Liverpool
here. Where he is, where he is in Cork, it's probably another hour and a half drive to a decent city that might have another one of them cafes in. No, 5 minutes to go and do.
Not even actually. There's not even. There's a couple of nice gigs in Cork, but outside Cork, there's gigs in Dublin. There's not really any other clubs.
That's what I mean. So things like
paid cafe gigs are the best new material.
I love cafe gigs.
Paid ones, the ones where you go, this is fine.
No, I'm not a cafe gig act.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be one, but doing like a big
I wouldn't imagine
night.
you the cafe gig act though, really.
Me?
Yeah. It's not just the performance, it's what you say.
No, but it's how I do new.
Yeah.
It's like I don't really do it because it's that bad.
Okay.
Like it's just bad.
Right.
And it's like I don't think I can go to the club that I work for and let them
even on a new material. Like,
I go like this will look like not even like open spot. This will look like brand new act. And I'm a bit like, oh god, now I've got to do this in a cafe somewhere anonymously. Right. Sometimes it will just be like, what? Do you know what I mean? They're looking at me like, what even was that? Yeah. How have you thought that was okay? Yeah. As
I think you're thinking too much about what other people think, man.
No, his mentality is he's petrified. It's all going to go away.
Okay.
So he thinks if he dies once at a decent club, he'll never get booked there again. It's like hot water. I'll go new stuff. Die on my ass. Oh well. At least I fucking went and tried it. With in his head, he's like, well, that's me gone now. I'm never playing a weekend there again, sort of thing.
Found out, done.
I think you need to. You can die in your arse, but you can also have respect for the room and not kill the room. Do you know what I mean? Like, not like absolutely just kill the whole fucking and make it impossible for whoever's coming afterwards.
No, there's different ways of dying, isn't it?
No, I think I could, but I'm on this like you being offline. This constant race to think you've got to go now. You've got to go now, and every day it's like, oh, you've not gone here. It's like, oh no, and then that overwhelms me, and I go, oh, I can't do new now. I'm too overwhelmed to even try anymore. So I just don't know whether it's better. Like the offline thing is something that eventually I think I'd like to do.
Yeah.
But knowing my look, I'll do it when
Yeah, you've
everyone's
gotta
offline anyway.
You've got to
And
be
it's not a
online
thing anymore. That's what'll happen. I'll be 2 years too late, and I'll be like, oh yeah, we all did the offline thing.
Yeah.
And I was too scared to do the offline
But you-
thing when I should have done.
You're
the
not
offline
even
thing.
online now, really. You're online,
No,
social,
I know.
but you're not online putting clips and that out.
I know.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. But did you ever feel that way before you did the clips? So when you went back to do
Absolutely.
the clips, your missus was like, you've got to do them.
Well, she's like, you
Was that
need.
one of
She
the
didn't say you got to do the
conditions of
clips. She's like, you need to put yourself out there. And I had been
Yeah.
talking to other people that had seen me try the clips and do it in various
Yeah.
ways. And one or two other comics were like, if you try to do this,
Yeah.
it might be a bit better if you try it this way. And I kind of took on the advice and I started doing it like that, and it started going
I think
a
once
bit
you
better.
get over it,
You get over it, and then you put it out there. Who cares? Like, you just have to. Like, to be fair, when I was dying in the beginning of my career as well, when I ever had a death, I took it very personally. I took it very.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, geez, that was bad, and I felt it for days afterwards.
Yeah.
In my
When I
heart.
first started,
In
like
my
that, but
heart.
I've been like that for a while.
I haven't been like that for a while, but
I'm
even
sort
no
of
matter
okay
the
with
gig could be on fire. Like,
Yeah.
there could be a fire there could be a fight. There could be all sorts going on, and I wouldn't take any of that into account.
Well, that's
I'd be like, that bit doesn't work anymore
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Fantastic.
but that's your that's your arrogance though, because I'm the same.
Yeah.
I just think, but I'm still gonna smash it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll have a little fire joke.
Yeah, yeah, a
and
little fire
that'll
joke.
go well, and then they'll be on board.
I know
Then, and
what
I'll
you mean.
smash. I'll be the act that saves
Yeah.
this.
Any
Yeah.
gig you go to, it could be the worst gig in the world. If you saw another act die there, you go, well, that doesn't matter because that doesn't count
Yes.
for them. But
They're
if it's
not
you,
me.
Yeah,
you
you
go, well,
can't.
that's
Yeah.
me. That is me.
Yeah.
Everything about that gig was perfect apart from me.
Yeah.
I've just had that recently.
Yeah,
I
have
was
you?
like, yeah. I was like, this gig's shite.
Yeah.
And then I went up there. It went
Yeah.
poor to middling. And
Yeah.
I was just like, well, that's me.
Yeah.
That's all my fault, that.
Yeah, that's why
And then
I don't
I-
like MCing.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
that's-
well,
That's why I took it so hard the other with the whiskey, like going back on the whiskey, just because I was MCing and everyone had a bad gig, and then I feel
You
like
feel a bit responsible.
you feel
for it.
everyone
Yeah.
else. You feel
But
like
it is
you feel like
rooted
they
in
look at you go.
Yeah.
You feel like they look at you going, "That's your fault."
But,
that though.
but
like
Yeah.
if it hasn't gone well,
like Ferry's on there, he hasn't had a good one. You're like,
Yeah.
if
if he's that's my fault. That's not
if
it.
it
It's
hasn't
me.
gone well,
Yeah.
not sometimes you will just have to say that would have been better if I was better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't get me
Like,
wrong.
you
I
just gotta go, if I was better than what I was, that could have been better.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
They go, oh, that gig's terrible. Paul,
Yeah,
set
yeah.
up, Mike wasn't working. We go, but if you were better,
yeah.
But you're not going to be 100% top of your game all the time. You have to dip down a little bit to learn and go back
Yeah.
up again.
Sounds like your missus is dead. It's like your missus is dead supportive.
Very supportive, in fairness. Yeah, she's been
Yeah.
with me from the very, very beginning of it. Like, and she is, to be fair. Like,
My wife saved me a couple of times.
yeah.
I got asked to do a weight loss show on Channel 5.
And oh, really?
And she-
Was it like a celebrity type of thing, or
put
was
you
it just
forward
like?
No, it was called Around the World in 80 Ways.
Okay.
And he basically went to these different cultures and countries, learned their sort of culture on diet and
Right.
weight loss, and then tried it for a week
Okay.
with like 12 other fatties.
Right.
And then he's like, see how much weight you can lose or gain or whatever. Like, and what, like, it wasn't all like Japanese loads of, like,
Yeah.
weight loss, dead strict. And you go to Samoa, they went to like in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And every cunt's got diabetes. You feel great about yourself. They were all
Yeah.
barbecuing, and I was like, I don't know. In my head, when it first come in, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I'll never do this.
Yeah.
And in the edge, you're slowly going, but maybe,
Yeah.
like maybe that I could be the funny one on that.
Yes.
And it's I get to go to I get 3 months traveling. I think it was a month actually, traveling different countries and doing that, and then it's a good chance to go and see Japan and stuff. Like, and she didn't, you're thinking maybe, and she had, like, she let me have it for a bit, just let me go. So she let me do the interview for the show and stuff like that. And
oh, you did go for it,
I'd done the interview.
did you?
Yeah, but didn't I? And like,
Oh, never. You get out quiet.
she let me do the interview and all that, and then.
Acting like he'd never do it. That's what he was like. Fuck doing that. He's
Well,
trying his best to get
after I'd done the interview,
How'd your Big Brother interview go?
no, I didn't do that one.
Got asked for that as well.
Yeah, I got asked to do that as well. Anyway, after the interview, and she said to me the next day, she's like, "What are you thinking?" I was like, "Oh, just," and she's like, "Who are you?" And I went,
Yeah.
"What do you mean?" She's like, "Well, you've always said all you want to do is be a comic. You don't
Yeah,
want to do anything
stand-up.
else. You love stand up." And she said, "I've always seen you as the kind of person who take the piss out of that,
Yes.
rather than the person who do that." And it's just like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, she's dead right. Like,
Mind made up.
yeah, and then I started joking about the fact that I got asked to do it. Then.
Yeah.
It turned into material.
Turned into material.
I
there
got
you go.
asked to do it, but
Happy days.
there's a little bit of me where I'm just thinking, yeah, that could just be it. That could be the break sort of thing. And
Yeah.
like, and like she had to be the one that went, what, like, this isn't you, sort of thing. But if you want to do it, fine, I'll support you, but doesn't feel like you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Go on.
Did she go to see you a bit? Do you go to gigs?
No, she's very hates it.
Do your missus go to gigs?
A few, like, just a couple.
Does she
my wife's very doesn't like stand-ups, doesn't like stand-up.
Do you workshop it with it?
No, never.
See, I do that.
Never. She doesn't get that at all.
She's
fucking terrible at it. I'm like...
My wife's the opposite. Won't go to gigs. Hates going to gigs. Doesn't like comedians.
Yeah.
But if I'll say, what's watching of this? And she's good, like.
That's good.
If she laughs at something and I know it's going to get a laugh, like, if I can make her laugh with it, she'll go well.
They're the regular people.
Yes.
They've never been, don't care for it.
Yeah. And they've got no care for you. Well, they love you, but they've got no care for, like, putting you down or, like, going, oh, yeah, it was, like, you say it with the comic and they'll go, oh, yeah, but they're more like...
To be honest with you, I just take the piss out my set.
Do you?
She's just repeating it.
Yeah.
I mean, all you got to do is repeat someone's set.
All
you got to do is repeat someone's set verbatim, copy them, and then it's taking the piss, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, to be fair.
Just mimics you.
Yeah, mimicking someone is just like, you know, and it's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do with being.
That's why you don't put clips out, because she's quoting them around.
No, it's just because I don't have the wealth. I don't have the
of
wealth
material, is it?
To put it out.
Yeah. But a lot of people are putting stuff out now and then going around with that stuff anyway.
That's what I said. Old clip, new drip.
Yeah.
I've never. No one's ever called me. People have asked me to do.
I've been asked.
Will you do that bit again?
And this tour, I'm like trying to wrap it up, and they're like, do the bit about.
Preachers used to do that. There's encore, didn't they? People would go, "What can you do? Like the bus
the
bit,
pound
or something?"
bit. Flanagan used to do out at the end.
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
I'll do at the end.
Yeah,
like,
I did it once.
I saw the Stefano in Liverpool, and they were like, "Can you do the 9/11 story?" He's like, "No, I've done it too many times, and it's online. Just like you do." I think he said, like, it's just not going to work, but I think it would have worked.
Yeah,
because they want to see it.
Yeah.
I get asked all the time, "Will you do that bit?" And you're like,
yeah, no,
it's just because they want to see it. Yeah. I think TikTok and Instagram has created a FOMO.
That's where I get it from. I reckon they're from TikTok. The people that ask, do that bit.
Yeah, because it's from a FOMO thing where it's like, I want to see what it was like to be in the room when he first done it.
I just think you'd like to see someone do it. Like I would not. I never thought you would, but I think you're not watching it for the laugh. You're watching it for the experience. Then.
Yeah, I've definitely.
Well, you watch it because what it probably brings back what you, I remember your first time you ever saw Chris's Rock of Black People versus.
Well, I just think there's so many bits now I'd love to see.
Oh. Yeah, even to be fair, you're on the road the whole time in clubs. I like seeing comics do. There's certain bits, and I'm like, I've seen this so many times. That's and I still enjoy it. Yeah, I'm still in the room watching it, and I'm like, this is a fucking great bit, and I can appreciate it. You know.
Sometimes you go in the room just for the bit, and then like how long's gone? I was doing the pandas bit now.
Well, I'm always blown away. Sometimes when I was on tour with Jamie and I was listening to a show backstage, you know when you go like, you know where the laugh's coming. Yeah. That always sort of messes with me. So I'm sitting in the back, knowing exactly what he's about to do. Yeah. I know that there's going to be a big laugh. Yeah. And when it happens every time, I just think it's just weird. Yeah, They're different people, different crowd, different everything, but that's where the laugh comes.
Yeah, but you know where that blows my mind.
Yeah, no, but it blows my mind. Yeah, because sometimes I'm up there going like, I'm not even funny here, and I just hit the beats, and they laugh. And
there are times when you're like, I'm not even finding this funny.
I'm not here.
And they're laughing at this. Yeah. And there's times where you're like, that's a good joke, that. Yeah. Like,
and I think
the same bit.
With a new bit is when you have that energy. Yeah. That's when you get away. They laugh because you think it's funny at the time. Whereas then you do the new bit a couple of times and you go, there's no jokes here. There's nothing. So you're not feeling funny. You do the new bit that you think kills. Yes. Yeah. But you've done it without thinking it's funny. And then you go, no, it isn't funny, that. You actually need to work on that.
Have you ever done a bit where you think that no always gets a big laugh and you're doing well at a gig and you think, you've liked me so far, wait till you hear this one. Oh, yeah. And you tell it and you're like, that doesn't go well. It's like
Nottingham.
It wasn't a stand-up applause that I expected.
Nottingham 3 weeks ago did that. That happened. Did a bit, 2-minute bit, basically nothing. Did a bit that I did in Last Laugh, which killed. Yeah. Did it a week later in front of a bar in a pub in the middle of nowhere.
Nothing.
Barely anything. Yeah. And I thought, what?
Yeah.
I thought, have I said it wrong? Something's not been.
You fuck your next bit up because you're there thinking, what did I say, or where have I? What misstep did it take to get to that bit?
But it got a couple of laughs, but not enough to be like what it got in the Last Laugh when I did it.
But all it takes is one tiny bit of distraction as well in the room. something happens where a certain percentage of the room have to look around at something, and they just missed you're setting something up, and just because that bit of the room don't see it or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's the common misconception that people think it's the most robust, don't they?
Yeah,
art form, and it's one of the most ones that requires the most concentration in the perfect setting.
I remember I had a bit that was going very well from not that show that I did, the previous one about getting a haircut over here in. And the kind of punchline was...
that haircut story is great. The Polish guy.
No, it's a different one to that. It's a different one. It's about the bad barber and how you avoid the bad barber. And have you seen that one?
Oh, no, a weight sort of thing, was it? Or?
The punchline is basically, kind of butchered a bit now myself, but the punchline is like, there's a bad barber in this shop, and there's 3 barbers, one of them is bad, and I'm like, I'm fucking absolutely making shit of this now. But anyway, the punchline is, it comes to me, there's 2 guys ahead of me, but the bad barber's finished. So he's like, next. And the guy's like, no, I'm waiting for this guy.
I think I've seen it.
I'm like, prick. And then the other guy's waiting as well. And then he goes next. And he gives, and I've already had the bad haircut. So I go, okay. And the punchline is, I take my child out of a buggy. And it always worked. Always worked. Every single, I would say 99% of the time, always got a big laugh. So I go, no problem. And I go, and I take my child out of a buggy. But I did it supporting Jim Gaffigan in...
Nice.
In the Apollo in London.
Yeah.
And I reckon he had so many American people in there, the punchline just, everything else in it worked, and every other tiny thing in my set worked. But the buggy one, something happened, and I reckon they don't know what buggy is. They say pushchair or whatever.
Right. Yeah,
I said there was so many people in there.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't think of a reference when you're just going to London to do a gig,
Yeah. Opening for Gaffigan's good though.
Yeah.
When did you do that?
I did a couple of times. I opened for him in Ireland a couple of years ago, and then again when he came back. Yeah.
What's he like? Is he sound?
Sound, absolutely.
You opened someone big the other month, didn't you, in Ireland?
Who?
Wasn't there someone, a big American?
I opened for Jim Gaffigan, Bill Burr, Nate Bargatze, loads of Americans.
Yeah. Nate Bargatze,
yeah, he was great. Yeah,
so that'd be Ryan's bag. That.
Who's Andrew?
Yeah.
Nate Bargatze.
Well, I thought you'd just be getting all the little.
Nah, this was Andrew was probably based here when I was even when I was. This is
I
before.
thought you done one the other month. Did you do Theo Von the other month?
No, I didn't do Theo Von. That was Shane Todd.
Yeah, I know. I thought I seen you do one as well.
Yeah. I didn't do Shane. I didn't do him.
Maybe Gaffigan's the one I'm thinking of. Then.
Gaffigan, yeah, and Bill Burr when he first came to Ireland, which was class, absolutely class. And Jim Gaffigan then was really nice. He was kind of messaging me afterwards and asked me to come back the next time he came to Ireland. Asked me to go to London with him. So it was very nice, and went for curry and beer with him afterwards.
Oh, he's great.
It was lovely. Yeah, he's very funny, man. Very funny.
But like you said, when you go back to the American comics being the better level, it's because I listen to Mark Maron's podcast sometimes. Yeah. And at the end, they'll always, if you're speaking to a comic, you'll be like, "You come to the club tonight." They're always
always working, and they're always with people who are hungry.
And they're like, "You going tonight? You going tonight?"
Yeah, because when I gig with Bishop the other month sort of thing, and I was taking a piss out of him, you wait till follow this, you cunt.
Yeah.
But just because just being around that sort of atmosphere where you know they are sort of going.
Kind of a gym, really.
Yeah, it's a new material, and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to do new material, but I'm going to fucking smash it.
But Mark Maron's funny the way he talks, because he's obviously famously bitter, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's famous a cunt on for the American, so he's always trying to redeem himself. But he's there going he's meant to be going working out or stuff.
Yeah.
And fucking Bobby Kelly's there murdering with the dirtiest stuff. And then he's like, everyone's like, oh sure, ride the wave, everyone going ride the wave. You know, Rogan's everyone's but then Maron's like, sometimes it isn't good. Sometimes sometimes you can't be sitting there going you've just murdered for 20 minutes and I've got to go on with 15. And he's like, I'm going to do okay here. He's like, I'm not going to storm this.
That's all right, though.
I'm just going to
that's grand.
Get through.
To be not the greatest on the bill and you're doing new stuff or whatever.
Just not to die in it. Just to let them respect.
I think it's better to go on
to get something
to do new.
Yeah.
And just really die.
Yeah.
I think it's good. And how's the so how is the off? Did we speak about the offline? We didn't. We
not really. No. Yeah, we got a bit distracted.
So, we got
we did. Yeah.
And then somehow got into all them fucking gigs.
So you wanted to do it because why was it again?
That was ages ago, but that was only the initial. That was only the initial idea, and then after that, from years and years of being over reliant on my phone, I think, for my sat nav, for my music, I land in a city, I go, where's that? What am I going to eat? What will I do? Where will I go?
So
How will I get home?
What about music then? You allowed to download something?
No, I've the radio in my car or whatever. That's it. Just
Walkman?
I could go get a Walkman, get a mixtape,
You got
get a
any
Discman or
CDs?
something like that.
MP3 player.
I could dig out CDs for my. There is a CD player in my car, so I could dig out a couple of CDs.
Can you
in the
imagine
attic.
getting seen changing the CD
Oh,
these days?
sure,
Mate,
yeah.
they think you're mentally ill. That's like that.
They already think I'm like, see my phone, man. It looks like a bloody drug phone.
What one have you got?
This is my phone now.
You burner, proper burner.
Yeah, proper burner phone.
Credit or contract?
No, that's just my own. It's a SIM free, so my old SIM card is just in it. Yeah.
So
Are you like an the other way? Is it acidic Jews who can't use electricity on a Friday?
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, but they can't use electricity. So what did they ask someone else? But you're not allowed to ask.
I'm not
either.
really. No, and that's why I was ringing you for directions
Yeah.
to here. I can. But if someone stopped the woman in the pizza place, I put it in my maps. I was, no, it's fine. I'll figure it
Yeah.
out. So that's why I rang you. I'm trying
Yeah.
to probably painting myself into a corner here, but
Yeah, because they're not allowed to ask either, because asking
Yeah.
is the same as doing it yourself.
Yeah.
But you can hint.
Yeah.
So like my mate was
like
telling.
the Amish who can't fuck, so they get someone to jump on the bed for them.
That's
Amish
Mormon. That's
Right, okay. Sorry
but the,
to any Amish listeners.
so the
You're not
what the acidic Jews do is, because they can't use electricity on a Friday,
Right.
because they will be sat in a
I've
room.
seen them walking around North London. They look like they're part
Well, no,
of a bit of electricity.
but they'll be talking to a neighbour and be like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to read later, but obviously I can't put the light on."
okay.
And like the neighbours, the neighbours allowed to go. Do you want me to come put it on for you? And you go, "Oh, it'd be lovely, but I couldn't possibly." And then, like the neighbours know to go and put the lights on
Every
for them and
Friday?
stuff. Every Friday, I can't use electricity.
That's a nice neighbour, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really. I don't even go back downstairs in my own house to turn off the light that I left on. I'm not fucking going down there and be
Well,
fine.
I was telling him I went to the lakes, and the first time I've been somewhere where there hasn't been a toilet on every floor for about 4 years,
What?
and I was like, I went to bed. I couldn't be asked going back down up and down for the
Yeah,
piss.
yeah.
So I just went for the piss and went to bed because I thought, fuck it.
I'm not going back down the stairs
Yeah,
again.
that's it. No, I'm here.
Yeah.
So you wanted to do it, so you eventually got round to it.
Got
now.
around to it, yeah. And like, I've gone probably a little bit too extreme because I'm not allowed to log on to anything, and I'm going to try and see if I can almost. It's fairly like, it's almost like I'm back in the 90s or something. But I'm the only.
You're allowed to pay for stuff though.
I can pay for stuff on my card, but I don't have a phone to do it. So.
But if you go to London, you're allowed to use your card to.
I can use my
oyster.
card and all that. Yeah,
Netflix,
I can use my
anything
card.
like that at home.
No, I'm just
or-
asking that because I know someone I know, and a pensioner, is went down to London, Wembley to see, was it ACDC, but on Wembley
Right.
lately, and only took cash, and they wouldn't let him on the bus.
Oh no way!
Wouldn't let him on the bus or the tube.
Oh, they only took card or cash.
they only take card.
Oh, he only had
And he
cash
only
with
took
him.
cash.
Oh, okay.
He went to
yeah,
London
yeah,
and took
yeah.
the money he was going to spend in
Oh
London,
no!
and only took it. He's like this 60-odd-year-old.
That's just sad.
And his partner, well, he works with me, and she was telling me they wouldn't let him on the bus.
You should never. You,
And I was like-
shouldn't be allowed to refuse cash like that.
And I was like, especially
Crazy.
to an half fella like that. I
Yeah.
was like, didn't have his car to like, click on the bus? Like, no. So I was like, so he couldn't even get around.
Well, if
'cause
you can't
he
do it, you
He
can't.
only had cash, and that made me laugh. That just made me laugh. It's like, fuck, how off grid have you got to be?
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like 30. I
You
think.
should have machines you can scan your cash and it'll avoid the cash. It'll like burn a hole in it.
It'll just,
be
what
like-
do you mean? Like
What do you
just
mean,
Well,
till.
if they go
It would
right,
just
there's no-
like a
damage
till where you
someone.
give the cash and it eats it,
but they go, there's the thing.
and your cash is
Right,
gone.
how much is the bus? £2. Well, they've only got tenner. Well, you're gonna have to get rid of your tenner now. It gives you tenner, and then we'll just take it. Like you get no change. Like vending machines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just go.
yeah.
We won't accept any change.
Yeah.
We've
But
got
you
to
can give us a
cash.
tenner.
Yeah. So if you go to the bar, it's like right, it's gonna cost you £6.
Well, that bus driver should just let him on, though. Really.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Come on.
he's gonna come on
But
stuff.
I just wondered how far you going with it. Where, like you can't use contactless.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not that far with it, but like, it's been hard. It's only been a week.
Yeah.
It's been up and down, but I definitely found stress levels are going down because I'm not always
Reckon?
scrolling already. Yeah.
So you've got over
So
like
your
a-
stress is down, except when you got to.
Except when it's
sat
like
nav
when my wife is
phone.
texting me going, your accountant needs this or needs that, and I'm like, it's so much harder to explain to her what to do.
Yeah.
But we tied up most of everything before I went offline anyway.
Yeah.
Tried to get everything, all the ducks in a row. And they set up a couple of gigs for me in Ireland, a logistical challenge, one that's very hard to get to.
Yeah.
And they set up another one that I can only sell not on the internet at all. And
Have you revised your map skills before you?
I was looking at. I bought a map. I have a map. I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
but
I'm
did you
looking
do
at
any
the route.
revision before?
I'm looking at the route. But
Right.
the problem is it's up in an Irish-speaking part of Ireland, so all the signs might change to Irish and stuff,
Right.
which I'm not very good at. So it's going to be interesting. And I have to book
Must be
accommodation and
struggling for new
stuff.
stuff.
I have to accommodation I have to book
Yeah.
and all that without the internet. But yeah.
What about like getting a taxi? And is he allowed you to sat
I can get a taxi, yeah. I suppose, yeah. I'm not going to say, hey, do you mind?
Get
I'm
a
offline.
Get a
I'm
little open
offline.
spot to drive you to the gig. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to open for me? You
Yeah.
got to drive. You got to
Use your sat nav.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit of crack, and I'm just hoping that I can just end up writing a bit more. Like it's like I'm after putting myself through an 8-week fucking. Some people go digital detox and they go down and they have money to go to some farm somewhere and do you know what I mean? Phones aren't allowed and they can write in there and go walk around in their pants all day. But I'm just doing that, but in real life, just trying to be like, I'll try and write as I go.
I think the hardest thing I'd find is the social aspect. I think.
Yeah.
Because like all my WhatsApp groups, because I'm in loads of them anyway. But that's how my mates converse and conversing them every day.
Yes.
And I think most comics are normally all right because they're other mates are comics. So you've got the social aspect of going out and doing gigs, but I think that's the thing that I'd struggle with.
Yeah.
I wouldn't speak to anyone all day.
They all have my number now, though. They can text me normally, but it takes about 15 minutes for me to text back.
Yeah, but when someone leaves a group, I just think, I don't speak to them.
Yeah. When someone leaves a group.
Like saying in a WhatsApp group when someone leaves, I just think, well, I'm not going to speak to you now until I need you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to fucking drop in and chat to you one-on-one.
Yeah.
You could have been in the group, you cunt. Like, you're making my life harder, so I'm not doing it. So, like, I've got a mate who got a cob on with that. He left all his groups. He went, I want to see who my true friends are. Who still speaks to
weird.
me. Well, that's what I mean. He's he's going to come down. He's like, he's going to come down from doing too much peak. Yeah. And left all his groups.
They would share this post if you like about suicide or something.
It's like, he's like, I'm leaving all the groups and the people I still talk to, they're going to be my real mates. And I spoke to him for a couple of days and I was like, you're just making my life harder. Yeah. Because all I'm doing is telling you what's going on in the groups. Yeah. It's like, you could just be in the groups with the rest of your mates, but you fucking, you don't want to come down, you decided only 2 of them and lads are actually my mates, the other 6 aren't really me, and you just think, in the end I stopped texting because
that's the experiment.
I can't be asked.
Life, isn't it? The idea that you're going to, not your life, it's everyone else's that's going to be difficult now. Yeah. Because of you. So therefore, at the end of it, being like, the hardest part was the fact that I was happy and everyone else was fucking miserable because they couldn't get hold of me, they couldn't send me videos or photos. Buying something from the shop was an effort because I couldn't just go, was that the one or something? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if we get through it or not.
What do you want the ending to be?
Yeah, I don't really care. Well, I just want to get through it and see what happens, like, you know. But also the WhatsApp groups they all know now. So I send them all. Chris is on his mobile if you want him.
Like I say, you got to expect your mates to make an effort to speak to you then.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
You don't really. I only speak to your mates individually if I need something.
I wouldn't be that, like, I'm very close with my friends, but when we talk. We wouldn't talk. I wouldn't talk every day with my buddies at all. But when we meet up, it's like nothing ever. Like, you know, I had a big stag in Liverpool. I
talk to all my mates in a WhatsApp.
We're all very close, and we'd all talk every now and again. But I wouldn't be WhatsApping every day.
Oh no, I WhatsApp every day.
Would you? Yeah, and voice notes as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I love a voice
note.
I hate voice notes. I send them. I don't mind them, but for me, because we do the podcast, I always think, they're longer to do with the podcast, and I haven't got the strength to listen to this now.
He thinks I'm telling him to do a job.
You're knee deep in the podcast game as well, aren't you?
I'm starting a podcast. I
thought you only done one with a couple of people over there. We don't do that anymore. That's gone now. It was too hard getting 3 of us together the whole time. It was just impossible. 2 of us have kids. Sinead, the other girl, was working on a radio show. It was just like we literally couldn't. So we tried. I'm doing another one though. Just yourself?
No, myself and another guy called Cian Toomey. He's kind of an online comic.
He's been big for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's very, very big. Yeah, and he hasn't done stand up. I think he wants to do it, but 2 of us are doing something at the moment. And going to release it soon enough.
I saw that post on. I was looking for your post where you declared you were going offline.
He was one of the biggest.
Huge
at the early days though, wasn't he? He was like doing it all before anyone even knew it was a thing.
He was like pre kind of almost.
So you don't like voice notes either then? No,
I do actually. I don't mind voice notes at all. They're very handy.
Yeah,
when you literally can't text,
especially if you're driving,
you got the kids or something, and you're like,
I voice note while I'm driving all the time. You just flick it up and then say what you got to say. And done.
Yeah, no, I don't mind them. I don't mind the voice note at all. Some people leave very long ones, but that's I take the piss out of it. Yeah,
it's unknown with the voice note.
My biggest problem with the voice note is I don't retain all the information. Whereas if it's in a text, then I have to go back and listen. I'm like, what did they ask me to do again?
I do that. I pause a voice note to answer it and then send the voice out and go. I'm only I I've
So you
gotten to the
pause
habit
the
now with a
voice note
pause
that's
voice
coming in?
note.
Mad, that,
I'll
innit?
pause a voice
Wow.
note. I'll respond to that issue
Yeah.
or that thing,
And then
go,
respond to the
I'm
next
only
one.
on 90 seconds, so
Yeah.
there's the response for that. I'll get to the rest of it in a minute.
Amazing.
But otherwise, I won't respond to it. Otherwise,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But the
You got to be polite with the length of voice note, unless it's a story that you just
Yeah.
meant to listen to. But if you're asking someone questions on a voice note, you've got to give them 1 or 2, and you can't be going into 3, 4s, and 5s. I think that's rude. I go,
Yeah.
what do you expect me to do with that?
Yeah.
It's like fucking 3-minute long voice note.
yeah, but I
things.
think once you send in anything longer than 3 minutes, you're not expecting a reply.
No.
I mean, I've just
That's,
stopped opening
I'm just
messages
telling
now.
you.
I've just fully stopped.
Yeah.
It's too. I can't reply to everything, and I there's no
Oh,
ill
no.
will or anything, but I haven't got the strength to look at that, and I know it's not even something I need to reply to.
Yeah.
But I feel like I owe you more than just to
I
leave
couldn't
that
do
double
that.
ticked.
I have
But-
unopened messages.
I couldn't do
And my
that.
wife is driving her mad because she's now looking after my phone. She's like, there's a couple of thousand emails here, man. You haven't even opened them.
I couldn't do it.
They're probably not important.
I know, well, probably not, but like what
Yeah.
I'd have to do is delete them and start again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So a fresh, yeah. That's probably where it's going now at the
Yeah.
moment with my phone.
When you come back, everything's gonna be fresh.
Yeah, everything's
You're
really
gonna try
fresh.
Go back and see what you've missed at all, or
No. Well, I don't know. I
well, if
suppose
you're not
we'll
active
see.
on it. So I'm so active and like you active every day talking to your mates. Well, you haven't got mates though, but
No, I've got that. I've got mates. I mean, I'm going on a stag do, but we've not seen each other for 4 years. But it's fine. None of us are. Because I think if you're constantly in touch with your mates, it's not that strong.
oh, I'm always
I think you need to be
Yeah.
distant
maybe
for
I've got no
years.
mates then.
Yeah, that's it. No one can stand you, so they've got to keep speaking to you. Talking this. He thinks he fixes everyone's problem, and I said no.
I'm the
They're
go-to
always
guy,
making
You're
you
a
feel
fixer.
like you're the fixer, because if you're not, you'll break. Like his delusion is so finely balanced that if it breaks, it'll be like a seismic wave of just like, oh shit,
like the
Brutal's on fire.
British
do you know what I
version
mean?
of a school shooter.
Yeah,
just
it'll be
yeah.
like,
just go
oh,
around
no.
setting things
So like,
on fire.
if you give him Rob a problem to fix, no, well, someone needs to fix it for him.
Someone go and ask for his advice on something, will you?
Yeah, but I don't speak to mates for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've got mates that don't speak to all the time. But my core
Every
group
now
of
and then
mates,
if
I think I've got 2 strong group of mates I speak to every day.
That's too much. If a celebrity dies, I'll text me mate the name, and he'll go fucking real. Like
That's
it.
that's yeah.
Just go like, or like he'll mess me Jay Slater, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, and then or like, Kevin Campbell, and I'm like, oh fuck. So if we get sent a full name of a celeb or
Yeah.
someone from school or something, we know it's death or
What gets you through the
something.
day?
Just sitting down. I've been on antibiotics at the minute, so I've just been drowsy as fuck.
I would say I'm more tempted to ring my mates now, though, now that I just have this, because I can't see the
Yeah.
WhatsApps coming in. So I probably will ring all of them in the next couple of weeks, and we meant to catch up anyway.
Yeah.
So I rang you how many times for directions? I've never rang someone that much in like 4 years.
Yeah, because you
Do you know what I
apologising for how
mean?
many
So I
calls
was
were,
like,
but
sorry about this.
because I like to feel
Yeah.
like I'm a fixer, I was loving it.
But I was offline for about
So that was
yeah,
everything
that
for
was
me.
nice. We were helping each other out.
Yeah.
Like I was offline for about 36 hours, and the Donald Trump attempted assassination happened, and I heard it on the radio, and I was like, oh my god! If someone said it to me, I would think you're taking the fucking piss. Well
So
done.
you got that news?
Original. I got that news on the radio. Didn't see anything
what
about
time?
it. It was Sunday at about, I can't remember, it was Sunday afternoon sometime. I was in the
So
car.
36 hours later.
No, 36 after I went
So it happened
offline.
on Friday.
I
It
heard
happened
it.
on the Friday night.
Yeah. I didn't hear it until
So you didn't find out Trump had got shot.
Saturday
found- right.
afternoon or something like that.
So about 14 hours later.
Yeah, it easily. If
I reckon 14 seconds later I'd found out Trump got shot.
it might have even been Sunday, you know, because
That's mad.
I had my last show in Cork, right? Friday night. We did the big theatre. We had a brilliant time, and we never normally go out. But me, my opening act, Con, and our 2 wives, we went out and we went mad.
Yeah.
We had a great fucking night. And the next day, went up the country with the family. Had a night away in a hotel, and I think it was the day after that. Because I was turning her up, and
mental.
I was like, oh my god. And Neve was like, yeah, but she just didn't tell me. She was like,
Yeah, because you assumed you'd know.
because one of my friends, if one of my friends said to me, Trump I would think you're taking the piss. You're trying to get me to go back on my phone and check. Do you know what I mean? Like, only if I heard it on the radio, I would have been.
Because you now, obviously not you 10 days ago, is the person who still buys newspapers. So
Yes, I'm going to buy a newspaper.
newspaper.
I haven't even seen Trump. I haven't even seen the image. I've heard about it. They've said it. He's blood dripping down his face.
I see
or
people buying
something.
newspaper now and I think, why would you possibly do that?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing in that paper I don't already know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy paper.
That is mental.
I
Blows my mind.
because I've been in my dad's car lately, I've had the radio on.
Yeah.
And some of the shite that they'll say.
Oh yeah. The
Just-
banter between
it
songs.
said
and that,
about
yeah.
like sales of fake tan and something else have gone
Yeah,
up
they love a little bit of kind
because
of
there's been no rain,
right.
and that was
Yeah,
a bit of news.
they just leave you there at that.
That was it. It was
Yeah.
like, and they reported that the sales of fake tan have gone up because there's been no sun.
Yeah.
96 point. I think, what the fuck is that? Like, just
That's
the
what he-
level of shite.
That's inspiration for him now.
Yeah,
isn't it? That's
yeah.
all gonna be his new
Clickbait.
show.
So that's going to
Yeah.
be your bit, innit?
That's
Yeah.
gonna end up
Like-
being
Yeah.
a bit for him.
Yeah,
Just
but Tommy Tiernan's got one of the funniest bits I've ever heard. Is that bit about like all the useless? Have you seen that bit?
The useless information.
Oh.
That's a great bit.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Just stream shite.
Yeah.
I see Sandra Bullock's husband's moving to text.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my
Yeah.
favourite bits.
It's a
of
great
that.
bit.
So funny.
But it's true though. There's too much useless shit being fired.
Well, that's
at
why
you.
I stopped listening to
All
the radio.
the time.
'Cause
Yeah.
I said on the taxi, I used to listen to the radio, and then
Yeah.
I think you have a sort of development of going from radio to talk sport
Yeah.
or 5 Live, or if you don't like footy, as LBC or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
then
yeah.
you-
Bit of
eventually-
politics.
And eventually you go to
Yeah,
podcasts. 'cause
Yeah.
You just think, this is shit. What am I listening to this for? And you listen to that for a bit, and you go, this is shit. What am I listening to
Yeah.
these chat shite for? And eventually you go, I'll find someone who can bother listening to.
Yeah.
And you get into podcast then.
So what are your plans for your time? Just to write? Is that literally
Try and write, yeah, try and write, and just even try and just have a few.
Wants to get rid-
Progressing with the kids?
Just wants to
Yeah.
get rid of his mates. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
What'd you say? Sorry.
They just want to get rid of your mates.
Yeah,
He's got a few dickhead mates. He can't thinking, right, just
I'd like to have
7
a
weeks
go.
not speaking to them, and I
I'd
get
like
rid of
to have
them.
a go at it.
would you?
But yeah,
How long do you think you'd do?
First bottle of wine, and then
So-
he'd be on his phone.
I think it'd make your face
You know,
up
you can't-
to a lot.
You can't do YouTube either.
See, I got
I know,
locked.
I know.
I got locked out of my phone as well. The night they took it off me, the Thursday night, man, they locked me out of it, so I didn't have a choice.
You do Netflix.
Yeah.
I think in my house, and I haven't watched it yet. The Netflix is still on. I'm not gonna if the kids are watching Netflix, I'm not gonna leave the room. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch fucking
Oh, see,
Netflix.
you are going to
I'm gonna
be
watch
an
Netflix.
acidic Jew. You're
So,
going to
yeah,
go to your kids
At
going.
night.
It's
Yeah,
like Dad-
exactly,
Dad'd love a bit of
exactly,
prison
yeah.
break around
Yeah,
there now.
yeah.
So you're gonna read books? Do you reckon?
I did
Reading
already reading more than I would have. Already writing more, and
Walking.
but maybe get back doing a bit of running or something like that. Something you have to, because I when I met up before I gave up my phone, I met up with this psychologist, yeah, and she
back on the
Yeah,
brasses.
it's
Yeah.
just not- yeah.
I'm getting back on the brasses.
but she put a
Old
heart,
school, like back in the paper.
heart rate monitor on me and was like, "Let's see how you react when we take your phone away." And I was like, "Whatever, you're only going in there. It
Yeah.
doesn't fucking matter." Like, yeah, and she was disappeared for 10 minutes, and some people interviewed her, and she came back. How do you feel? And I was like, "No different at all." So
Yeah.
you know, and then she took off the monitor and put it on the screen, and you could see when she left the room, heart rate variability changed, went up, and she was like, "You don't even know that's happening because your phone is out of your hand and
Yeah,
you're gone.
there must be a little bit you
you
going.
can't even register that in your, you know what I mean? You don't even know that that's your body's always going." So since
Yeah,
like
but
the
was you allowed to lock it first though?
I
Because
just
there
gave
could
it
be a
to
little bit of
her.
that's
I
what
gave it to her. I just gave
let me
it
make sure
to
that's
her.
locked and then
Yeah,
take it
yeah,
away and I'll be
yeah, yeah.
fine.
No, I was like, do what you want with it. But to be fair, like the next day, I just kept trying to pick it up,
Yeah.
and I was like, I just keep forgetting I don't
like
have my
smokers when
phone.
they stop smoking.
And eventually,
Like that
you
one.
have this one, and you're like, oh, there's nothing on that anyway. So
Snake.
you keep trying to pick it up. Yeah, I got Snake, a decent high scoring Snake already. And you ever get that thing where you're just vibrate, you feel a vibration in your pocket, but your
Yeah.
phone's not in it. Like
Yeah.
that's weird.
Must be like
It's
muscle
phantom,
memory, yeah.
phantom. It's like some amputees think they still have. They'll go
Tingles
to
in
pick
the
something up
fingers.
and they'll go
Yeah.
fucking.
I
I
don't
forgot I
think
don't
I'd
have a
ever do
hand.
I think I'd do one check a week on like Sunday.
Okay,
I'd
yeah.
have to do that.
No, you can just if you.
I
want to-
wouldn't do it. I could.
If
I
I was
couldn't.
doing that. I wouldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. No, I'd have to have. What you have to put? Oh, by the way, if you need me, pin a post if you need me. Get
Yeah.
me on this number.
Yeah, but I just don't think anyone would speak to you unless they need you.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
email
Yeah.
me.
That's what I think. So I think I'd.
And it's weird though, because I'm getting probably way more texts than I normally would, because they're setting things up for this thing and
for now.
texts, and for
setting
gigs
things up.
And, setting things up for this
So you're not getting chatted, but you said
documentary.
you're not
Are you allowed
chatting.
to
But
email?
even my what? No email. Sure, I can't get online. I don't
See,
know.
I think this because he's
Can't
got
be online,
but I think it's because you can talk now. I think it's we can't.
No, sure. 2012 is when I wanted to do this, and I wasn't touring
we
then.
with the sword online. We need
Yeah,
to
but
see
you-
them
they-
posts.
But also, my wife is trying, and I don't know what my social media is going to be. She's convinced she's going to like get me.
Loads more work and that.
She's like, not my following. She's like, I'm gonna fucking blow it. So I'm like, yeah, go for it. It's like I'm fucking timing a child to run to the shop
Got
for
an
me.
OnlyFans
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like you're going,
Yeah.
what? Okay. Which I think is going to be hard. But
Come
she's
on back,
like,
she said on feet
but
pics.
it wouldn't surprise me. And
Yeah.
so if I get back my phone in 8 weeks and there's loads
Another
more
100,000
followers,
yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but then they'll be like, did he really go offline? The rat.
Well, you'll know by the grammar and by everything is spelled correctly at the moment, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't work that out with your missus. You got nothing else to do. Then.
What?
No, because his missus puts punctuation.
Yeah, punctuation and
She
everything.
messed me back. So I
She'll
play
text him, Chris.
yeah.
Is this
on
your
my
nice post?
on my car. I can press play aloud and it'll
Yeah.
read me the text.
Yeah.
So I think I did it once with your missus, normal. Did it with you and it'll see you son. It'll see you son, and I was like, yes, I can figure out what that was meant to say.
But it is harder to text on these phones as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not, my grammar and punctuation and stuff, I'm always getting shit about it when I'm posting and plugging a gig. She's like, what are you, like, did you ever go to school? She's a teacher though, like, which, like,
Yeah.
did you go to school at all?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. But who knows? I don't know if I'm going to make it.
I had that last night with her. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm actually going to make it today. And being brutally honest with you, it's been up and down a little bit. And like the other morning, I was like, this is fucking stupid. Let's.
Do you know
stop
where your
doing
phone
this.
is?
She has it. Niamh has it. My wife has it.
Yeah, but do you know where it is?
Well, wherever it's been there. It's just been there on the kitchen counter, but it's
Right.
locked. It's her face. We can go to
Right.
her and try and get back into it. But
That's what I mean. There's no like promise me, like you know, like smackheads are like,
Yeah.
no matter what I say, do not give me this.
do not give me that.
Have-
Well,
have
it's,
you-
I think
have you had that conversation
I think
with
it
her?
being locked is the thing, right?
Yeah,
And she changed the Wi-Fi, so I can't get into the Wi-Fi on my laptop, but I can use my laptop to cut videos.
yeah.
But she didn't even have that done the other day. She was going down to Waterford to visit her sister, and my kids were going to a camp, so she took the modem. So I had this phone and a modem. That's all I had.
But you
No
strike
modem in
me
my
as
house.
the type that you very. I think you'll make it.
I might make it. Yeah.
You strike me as the type who sort of you can get through this.
Do you know what? It might. If it's boring as fuck. That's probably
Have
my
you-
biggest fear.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
going to be
fucking
boring.
boring.
But you find
But
something else
it's
to fill the time
actually
with.
boring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one finds it interesting that I gave up my phone or whatever.
You say that though, but it's like,
Yeah.
like I think we'll finish on this because I need to wrap up.
Right.
But have you worried about like alone time?
No. Actually, no. No.
I think that'd be. I think it'd be good for me because it'd stop a bit of that for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm on 2 a day at the moment, so
Oh, yeah.
I just have a lot of
I
time
wouldn't
alone.
have the fucking energy for that.
It's a lot of time alone, isn't it? Like
I wouldn't have
like you
the
say,
energy for that.
my wife's
Jesus
a
Christ.
teacher as well. The lad's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
school, so during the day I'm just on my own. So it's like,
To write a load of
why
erotic
not?
novel and be like,
Yeah,
have your own
just
stuff.
go old school, man. Use
Yeah.
your imagination.
I know, but that gets boring after a while. Do you reckon I get better? Do you reckon you get so good?
You
at
get better.
imagining?
You're training your imagination. Then you're going to be writing gags. You're going
When I
to
was
be imagining.
when I was thinking of this the other day, I'd be like, he's going to have an ex-girlfriend who he's not seen in 10 years. The first thing he's going to do when he gets back to his phone is look what she's up to because he's wanked over her that many times.
I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be
yeah.
interesting to do, I think, but I don't think I could. I need to. Again, another excuse, but I actually do need it to try and pay the bills.
Yeah, but you've got an agent, so you could just say to your agent, you fill me diary.
No, I need to be
Yeah.
the sword.
Yeah. Would you
I'm
have
like
do you have
within
anyone
half
that
an
would
hour.
just look after you and go and you look after?
He has
my
got someone who
admin?
can do that, but he won't,
You're
he
more
won't.
established to the point where you'd be able to get them. Whereas I'm there, I've got to be ready within 3 hours.
No, that's what you
Okay.
tell yourself.
Okay.
Oh, I have. Trust me, I've got to be
No,
ready.
that's what
within
you
3
tell
hours.
yourself.
No, because obviously if someone messages
Yeah,
you
but
on
you got an
Tuesday
agent
for a
thing.
gig and you only get it Sunday, they go, it's gone. You go, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
But you got an agency, he'll be ready within 3 hours.
You could pick a time when you're busy, right? And your diary's full for a month,
He's
and then
just-
you go.
He's
That's what
making
I'm doing.
excuses.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going off at them.
He's making excuses.
I'm happy to miss gigs on
All right,
Tuesdays
somebody-
and Mondays.
Why
Somebody
didn't you
give me
line up? Why
somebody
didn't you line up
else
October?
sponsor it.
Line up October. Get your guarantees in. Get a hot water in. Get a last laugh
What,
in.
guilt people
Get
into a weekend?
get a
going,
frog in,
"Gonna come
yeah.
to your gigs
Exactly.
and
I'm
bring
going
on."
off.
last laugh, frog, hot water.
Yeah.
Get Blackpool in. There's your 4 guarantees, and then you don't need. You can
You survive off that then, and you
I'll
go,
film
yeah.
me January that way then. I'll
Nobody do in January. That's a cunt's game. I'm not having that.
Yeah.
Right, Chris, where can everyone find you?
At Chris Ken
Oh,
Comic.
Where can everyone find you? Neve?
At Chris Ken Comic on Instagram and TikTok, and I think on Facebook as well.
And are you... So this is going to go out for early September.
Yeah.
First week of September. You just got your phone back. What you got anything to promote around then?
I've got a couple of gigs. Yeah, I'm doing finishing up my back at it tour all around the UK. That's on my website, chriskencomedy.com.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be on the next Irish tour then from October online. That's called Chris Kent Online. So that'll be dates all over Ireland, and I'll hopefully get back to the UK with that this time next year.
Brilliant. Sweet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, lads.
Ta-da.